The following broadcast is a paid commercial program and does not reflect the views of the staff and management of Intercom Communications or WORD Radio.
Good morning, upstate South Carolina, and welcome to the Yard Pros by Carolina Fresh Farms. I'm here today. This is Mills Grant with
Scott Beard.
And I'm Ryan Huff.
Wow. All three of us again. 2 weeks in a row, guys.
That's pretty impressive.
Unreal, isn't it, Scott?
That is nice. That's fun.
So how was the home show last week, folks?
That was the best one I've seen in a long time.
I'm telling you, it was packed. I was out of voice by the time I got home Saturday night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Boy, the legs were just worn out. It's like we were on our feet for the entire weekend, or at least all day Saturday. So, guys, we really appreciate last week all the calls we got. If you'd like to call us today, that's 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. And as always, you can reach us at theyardpros@yahoo.com. So, wow, looks like we might be getting calls already, fellas. So what was new this week? Anything interesting in the stores?
What was new this week? Mostly pre-emergent was the biggest thing this week.
Really?
Absolutely.
So that was kind of the common thread with all the customers walking in the doors.
Yes. Yeah,
it's time for me to put the pre-emergent herbicide down, huh?
Yes, get it out quick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, later this morning, I want to talk a little bit more in depth about pre-emergent herbicides, how they work, what's the purpose behind it, all that good stuff, and kind of what are the indicators. Why do we use pre-emergent herbicides, and when do we apply them? I think the biggest unknown factor out there is, for most people, is when do we apply this pre-emergent herbicide and make sure that it's effective for those weeds coming up. So, you know, we've already got a call on the line, and we're going to grab Ted here in a second. But while we grab this call, if you'd like to call us, feel free at 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. So, good morning, Ted, and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Good morning, sir. I'm glad to be in here early. My question was the timing and what to give azaleas. The
timing and what to give azaleas. And you're just you're referring as fertilization or food, huh?
Correct.
The timing's now.
Blooming time.
Absolutely.
And not just azaleas, any shrub in the landscape, the time is now. And one thing I really want to express, not only to you, Ted, but anyone else listening, is I really would like for you to think about using a really long-term fertilizer. You know, I think the Wood Ace, Ryan.
Wood Ace Triple 14.
Yeah, we've got a Triple 14 Wood Ace that's extremely slow release, very similar to an Osmocote, but a whole lot cheaper than Osmocote.
That's right.
That'll really feed those plants all through this bloom period as well as through the summer so that you get a lot of good, healthy root growth.
So we want to help them put on their show that they're going to do here soon.
Exactly.
And then, of course, recover after it. And one more quick question,
Sure.
if I may. How much to prune them? I guess that's to be done sometime after blooming.
Yeah, do it as quickly as you can after bloom set or after blooms bloom, and before we get into really a deep, stressful period of drought. Go ahead and get them pruned as quickly as you can. And, Ted, really, you can prune them, as a rule of thumb, we say no more than a third of the growth, but I have seen them prune down half the growth off. Make sure you really prune inside the plant, and do it by hands, not by shears. You know, we don't want to make them look like a boxwood in a landscape. Let's enjoy the azalea for the natural beauty they have, and let's try to use hand pruners and thin them back from within the canopy so we get more
Open them up a little bit, let them breathe a little bit.
Right. Exactly.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Enjoy your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, off to a good start with calls this morning, and the lines are filling up fast. We do have one slot open at 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. We're going to keep moving on. Shall we take Alan next?
Let's do it.
Good morning, Alan, and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Good morning, guys. Thank you. I have a zoysia lawn, and it's gotten a patch of poana in it, and short of pulling it out by hand, I'm wondering how to control that.
All right, fellas, don't all speak at once.
That's right. That's right. Well, poana, it comes in. It's an annual bluegrass, and basically it's a real killer. And a lot of people that are seeing it is because they didn't put down the proper amount of pre-emergent or didn't put down pre-emergent at all last fall, and they're seeing the results of that right now.
How much poana do you have right now, Alan?
Well, it's pretty concentrated in a fairly small area, but it's already making seed pods and getting ready to keep expanding.
Yeah.
Not a great big area.
Go ahead, Nils.
I was going to say, Alan, one product that's out there is pretty easy to find is a product called Image. It works decent on Poa annua. The one thing we want to be careful of, that zoysia is beginning to transition, and especially with this warmer weather the last few weeks, we may be a little far in that transition where you do run the risk of causing some injury during transition, delaying that green up of the zoysia. If you feel like you can live with it, quite honestly, once we have sustained daytime temperatures of 85 degrees, that Poa annua is going to check out extremely quickly. I think the biggest key is to understand that weed germinates normally by mid to late October in the turf as the soils begin to cool this fall. Is you got to make certain that you get a good product like Barricade, which is prodiamine. Got to get a really good pre-emergent out in the fall of the year to prevent this from becoming an issue.
Okay.
So I tell a lot of folks, and I know it's not what you may want to hear, but I think of it in terms of, hey, if you spend money on chemical, yeah, it's going to kill it in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but we may have the temperatures that are going to take it out anyway in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So why run the risk of causing injury to the yard?
Yep, I understand. Okay. Let me ask you a follow-up question, if I can, about pre-emergence.
Sure.
I have a bed of the Liriope, and it has a weed that comes in every year that is, it's a vine, but it has a leaf on it like, almost like bamboo. And I'm wondering if a pre-emergent, if I apply that to that bed, will it stop that weed from coming in?
It really depends exactly on the weed that's
Absolutely.
there.
Not everything's labeled for all of them.
Yeah, Barricade's certainly not going to catch all the weeds out there. Neither is Dimension. Neither is, pendimethalin's probably the closest one. If you're going to try any pre-emergent in that situation without positive identification on the weed, I think Pendulum 2G or Snapshot
Freehand.
or
Freehand.
There's a new product by BASF that's actually extremely good on yellow nutsedge
That's right.
in a shrub
Shrub
bed.
beds.
So there are a lot of chemicals out there, Ted, excuse me, Alan. I'm stuck on the first caller, Alan. Apologize. But there are a lot of products out there, pre-emergent-wise, that can help you. And there are also a few post-emergent sprays if you positively ID the weed. I know there's Post. A lot of people know it. Sethoxidin is used in some shrub bed applications.
Right.
Basagran.
Vantage,
and also
you had some grassy weeds coming in.
And Vantage. So there are a couple different ideas out there for you. What I would suggest, email us a picture of the weed. That's the best thing to do. Let's get a positive identification on that weed, and then let us do a little bit more research and see if we can find a specific herbicide to control your problem.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
Right. Email us at theyardpros@yahoo.com.
So we off to a good start. 2 callers already. Would like to take Jerry. However, I think we're coming up on a break, so we're going to roll off to a break. Jerry, we'd love for you to hang on the lines. You're listening to the Yard Pros.
Hang on, Jerry.
And don't forget, call us after the break at 232-WORD 9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg.
Mostly clear going through this evening and tonight, and temperatures will fall fast once again after sundown. We'll get down into the mid-30s, so we could have patchy frost around by early Sunday morning. Be sure to protect those sensitive plants and to set that clock forward an hour before you go to bed on Saturday night. Then mostly sunny skies expected for Sunday with a high of 64. We'll have a small rain chance to start the work week. From the Fox Carolina Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent on News Radio WORD 106.3 FM.
Today through Sunday, it's America's greatest tire sale. Nowhere in America will you find a bigger or better tire sale than you will find here right now. Now, only at Tire Kingdom, today through Sunday, get 2 name brand tires absolutely free when you buy 2. That's 50% off regular retail. With the purchase of alignment and premium installation, you get 4 tires for the price of 2. Today through Sunday, only at Tire Kingdom. You buy 2, you get 2 free. That's 50% off. Not just a few unbranded tires, but select name brands. Name brands like popular Pirelli, Cooper, and Yokohama tires. Buy 2, get 2 absolutely free. 4 tires for the price of 2. Today through Sunday, only at Tire Kingdom. But make no mistake about it, this sale will end Sunday. So don't wait. See your Tire Kingdom tire store today.
Allen Allen Arms is the Upstate's premier gun store and offers the most trained and qualified staff you can find here in the Upstate. And they stand by that. Why would you buy a gun from anywhere if you can't test it out first? At Allen Arms, if you purchase a gun from them, they'll give you free instruction at their indoor firing range. They're the only gun store open 7 days a week, and their main goal is to ensure that you, the customer, have the best experience possible. Visit their store at 1210 Poinsett Highway or call 250-2007 and online at allenarms.net.
Greenville Hospital System encourages everyone to love life.
When you reach a milestone, you celebrate, but the real joy is in the journey. Challenges won, adversity met, love given and received. Whatever comes next, you delight in the journey ahead. So make your health a priority and get regular screenings. If you're 50 or over, that includes a colonoscopy. Take care of your health today so that you can celebrate life tomorrow.
To learn more, go to ghslovelife.org.
Fire ants, we're laughing at you. You see, in the past, you just killed fire ant mounds. But treating the mound is not enough. Those little buggers come back. But now, with 2 simple steps, you're not just killing fire ant mounds. You're keeping them away for up to 6 months. 2 steps of fire ant annihilation. Step 1. Grab a bottle of ortho-orthene fire ant killer, sprinkle on the mound, and they die. Oh, but it gets better. Step 2. A bag of Ortho Max Fire Ant Killer for the rest of your yard keeps new fire ants away for up to 6 months. Now you've humiliated them. So remember, treating the mound is not enough. Fire ants deserve more death. 2 steps of death with Ortho-Orthene Fire Ant Killer and Ortho Max Fire Ant Killer. It's Ortho 2-Step Fire Ant Annihilation. For more fire ant decimating tips, go to ortho.com. Ortho, defend what's yours.
WORD.
Good morning, Upstate South Carolina, and welcome back to the Yard Pros by Carolina Fresh Farms. Guys, you know one thing we hadn't said today, we are South Carolina's second largest sod producer in the state, I do believe, by acreage. Had a recent meeting of the certified South Carolina sod producers, actually certified sod, not just all sod producers, and noticed in our acreage that we're, bar none, the second largest sod producer in the state of South Carolina. We're going to get straight to Jerry. He's called us in at 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. Jerry's been on hold through the break, so Jerry, good morning and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Good morning.
Thank you for holding on during that break.
Yes, sir.
What can we help you with this morning?
Well, I'm wanting to know how to get rid of wild onions.
Hey, what type of turf, Jerry? Is it in turf or pasture or?
I guess it's just, I don't know. I bought the place 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Just grass.
Okay, so just in your lawn area in general.
Lawn area.
Is where you're having the wild onion issue.
Yeah, 2,4-D will work, mixed with some surfactant. And you got to use surfactant with that to break the wax on the leaf on that wild onion so that chemical will actually penetrate through it.
Now, what's that now?
2,4-D.
2,4-D. It's a chemical that's been around a long, long time, Jerry. And 2,4-D is the actual name of the chemical, a hyphenated name for the long, drawn-out name that I won't even begin to pronounce here on the air this morning. Good. Is that right? 2,4-D, however, the problem with the wild onion or wild garlic, Jerry, is it has a really waxy layer on the outside, and you can feel that, and you really need to use a surfactant with that, which is a little additive. They're very inexpensive. Any farm and garden, any retail, nice local garden center or a company like Carolina Fresh Farms, we're always going to suggest use a surfactant to help that chemical penetrate that cuticle layer of that leaf so that you get better uptake. Most of these herbicides have to be taken up through the leaf surface.
And also, Jerry, make sure that you don't mow it down. A lot of people want to say, well, I want to mow it down and get it down low before it. You actually want more leaf surface for the chemical to get on. And then you want to make sure that you have a good 2 to 3 day window there of no rain or irrigation to make sure that it's able to set in and translocate through the plant.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I hadn't got that something else you said to add. I don't know.
It's surfactant.
Surfactant is what we call that. A lot of people refer to it as soap, but the dish detergent in your house really won't work. You need to buy what we call a non-ionic surfactant to add to that tank mix.
Surfactant.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We appreciate the call, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Guys, phone lines are lighting up once again this week very
That's
well.
right.
So we got one line open, 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. Let's move right along to Tony. Ryan, he's over, or could be she,
Yes.
but Tony's over in your neck of the woods in Spartanburg.
Let's talk. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Well, I've got a grass in the yard that's got some small burrows on it, and they'll stick through about anything. They'll stick to my kids' bicycle tires. You know what I'm talking about by any chance? I've heard them called devil heads.
And you said it actually, like the seed pod, will stick to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a grass that grows real low to the ground. It looks just like grass, but they get those little seed pods on it, and they're green and real tender during the summer. But in the fall, they'll turn black, and they're hard. And like I said, they'll stick in anything.
Well, one thing it could be some type of sand spur. We see that a lot at the coast, and it's not abnormal to see things to begin to naturalize further into the upstate.
I've got a very sandy yard,
and that could be it there. Once again, Tony, it comes back to positive identification. We think we're pretty close to knowing what your problem is. And that sand spur, some people that may or may not have them, there aren't many chemicals out there labeled for it. I do believe it's on the image label.
What about sedgehammer?
Sedgehammer, I don't think it's on that.
Okay.
Now, one thing it could be, and I've never seen it happen, or it may be another item out there that you described, Tony, that kind of sounds similar to that, is green Kalinga.
Absolutely.
Now, Kalinga, I don't know about, normally people keep it mowed. They don't see the seed pods. I've never really seen them mature in the fall because normally when I see Kalinga, we spray it out, so I never see full maturity on that. But
Yeah.
I would say get positive identification. Email a picture to us at theyardpros@yahoo.com. I hate to keep going back to that, but that's a great way. Positively identify the weed, and then we can give you a better idea of exactly what you have and how to control it.
All right.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Wonderful.
All right,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
So I think the next caller we have is Mike in Greenville talking about soil amendments. Now, this has got my curiosity up, fellas.
All right, let's hear it.
You know how much I enjoy soil amendments.
Yes. Definitely.
Mike, good morning and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Yeah, I got a couple raised beds, and I just want to add the nutrients back to it, and then also my yard. Also, I got a bunch of bare spots. I got clay soil, of course, over where I live at.
Sure.
Most upstate.
Well, Mike, good thing for us that we do is we do free soil sampling, and that will absolutely tell you what you need, bringing us in some samples from around in your turf, and also if you want to make one totally separate for your raised beds, we can get your pH levels, your phosphorus, your potassium, and a few of the minor elements, and that way we can give you an exact indication of what you need. That's something we enjoy doing because it helps us to help you have a better yard and you feel good.
Okay. I've always heard that, you need to amend your flower beds and stuff. I was just curious, is there a certain chemical used or?
Well, as far as soil amendments for flower beds and my annual beds at the house, when I amend those every spring before I plant or fall, I always use mushroom compost. It's a great product. It doesn't have the odor similar to a cow manure. However, it does have an odor because it's mushroom compost. It's been composted over time.
You haven't loaded any in the summer. My hands stink after that.
Yeah, your hands stink, but fellas, it's not like a animal waste product.
That's correct.
So you
That's
don't
correct.
have quite the odor that you get out of the animal waste, but it's really loaded with organic fertilizer or organic fertility, which is nice because those organics will last and persist quite a while in the soil. Plus, you're adding organic to that red clay. I'd use the same product. You said you had some bare spots in the yard, and you're correct. A lot of times that's due to severely compacted clay areas with low organic content. But Ryan was right. Bring us a soil sample. I mean, they're free. All it's going to cost you is a little bit of time and, well, I used to say a little bit of money and gas, but probably a little bit more this week's, but a little bit of time. So,
Yeah,
Mike,
Mike,
we appreciate you calling in this morning.
All right. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Guys, I think we probably ought to move on to one more. I think we have time for at least one more caller. We've got Wayne on hold from Moore, South Carolina. Once again, over in your neck of the woods,
Over
Ryan.
in my neck of woods.
Not far at all.
Japanese made. Near my store in
From
Duncan.
your location in Duncan.
Not
Good morning,
not
Wayne.
far from you guys at all. So.
All right.
Good.
Wayne, how you doing this morning?
I am doing well. I have got a very poorly placed Japanese maple in my front yard that hangs over a sidewalk. My wife wants me to cut it down, But I'm wondering, is there any way to transplant that or remove it and try to save it?
How long has it been in the ground?
It has been there about 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah, it can be transplanted, Scott. It really can. The key is, I think, making sure that you have about 4 other friends to come over.
Yeah, I was going to say,
and dig the root.
It's going to take a lot of guys to do it.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it is going to be time-consuming.
Okay, so I'm wanting to save the roots and everything because I believe it's going to be rooted underneath the sidewalk, too.
Yeah,
so.
and that's going to be tough, Wayne. You might be surprised. There may not be as many roots under that sidewalk as possible. And if you lose that one side, I think you still have a good shot of that tree surviving a transplant. The thing I would tell you, Wayne, it needs to be done today if you're going to do it this spring. And if you don't get it done today, then you need to wait till fall of the year.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you all very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Wayne.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You know, guys, phone lines are starting to clear out, which is good. It's close to the bottom of the hour, but we do want you to call us maybe over our bottom of the hour break at 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. Tony, I know you. Well, actually, Angela, do we have time to take Tony? We got 2 minutes. Tony, we're going to put you on the air and try to get you cleared out before the break. Good morning, Tony, and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Well, good morning to you, sir. I've got a problem. I'm a person that's 74 years old, and I'm totally blind, okay? I have a yard that is loaded with weeds.
Okay.
I can't control the weeds because I can't cut the grass because I can't see. And I have a friend, the person comes down like once every 2 weeks. They cut the grass, which I pay them, of course, $35, which is like $70 a month. But I can't have them cut it every week because, of the expenses. And is there something I could put on that grass? Because I have 2 dogs, too.
Sure.
Is there something I could put on that grass to kill those weeds and as well as make the grass maybe not grow as fast?
Sure. Tony, I'm going to have to let you go, but I'm going to answer your question right now, Tony. And we'll talk about it a little bit when we come back from the break, fellas. But, Tony, one thing I'll let you know is you're right. When you get a lot of weeds and you don't know what to do, you know, as far as controlling the growth of the grass, there are some chemicals out there. Primo works great. I use it in my yard. A lot of golf course superintendents use it to control the growth of Bermuda grass. And we do have some broadleaf weed killers, which are easy to apply. If you have someone helping you out with the lawn, it's something you can purchase from the store, have it there, and when the guy comes by to cut your lawn, then certainly they can spread this product. It'll really help you with weed control. And then we may get in coming back, fellas, talk a little bit about Primo for those guys. It's a really neat chemical a lot of people don't know about. Folks, we'll hope you'll stay tuned in through the bottom of the hour break and come back with us. You're listening to The Yard Pros by Carolina Fresh Farms. And you can call us at 232-9673 in Greenville this morning or 574-9673 in Spartanburg.
And don't forget, you can always email us at theyardpros@yahoo.com.
News Radio WORD is WYRD-FM. Simpsonville, Greenville, Spartanburg. WYRD Greenville. WORD Spartanburg.
Mostly clear going through this evening and tonight, and temperatures will fall fast once again after sundown. We'll get down into the mid-30s, so we could have patchy frost around by early Sunday morning. Be sure to protect those sensitive plants and to set that clock forward an hour before you go to bed on Saturday night. Then mostly sunny skies expected for Sunday with a high of 64. We'll have a small rain chance to start the work week. From the Fox Carolina Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent on News Radio WORD 106.3 FM.
Back to programming in a minute, but first, listen to this. Looks like the New York Mint is releasing century-old Morgan silver dollars to the public. There's a number you can call for free historical information and a free DVD. But check this out. It says, during the First World War, the government recalled and melted millions of beautiful silver coins. And because Morgans are now so prized by collectors, most survivors are privately held. That's why many of us have never even seen a classic silver dollar in gleaming, uncirculated condition. Surprisingly, a cache of these magnificent Morgans was recently discovered, all more than 100 years old and as fresh as the day they were minted. Looks like the New York Mint is releasing them even though the silver market right now is red hot. Here's the number, 1-800-933-5171. Wouldn't that be amazing to hold U.S. history? All right, if you want free historical information and the free collector's DVD, call 1-800-933-5171. 1-800-933-5171.
I'm at the charter facility on the International Date Line, which was built half in today and half literally in tomorrow. Here, in the future, scientists are working on the latest technology, like the Charter Bundle, the most powerful internet, TV in HD, and Charter phone with unlimited nationwide calling. And if you sign up today, not my today, yours, my today would be your tomorrow. I'm talking about your today, which is yesterday. Anyway, when you sign up, there will be a $200 credit waiting for you in the future. Here, where I am now. Oh, I'm getting International Dateline lag again.
Get a $200 credit with the Charter Bundle starting at $99.97 a month for 12 months. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER. Offer expires 3/31/12. New qualifying residential customers only. Standard rates apply after promotional period. Taxes, fees, surcharges, equipment install extra. Must subscribe to TV and Digital, Internet Express, and Phone Unlimited or higher by 3/31/12. Services installed by 4/30/12 or deal online at charter.com/200 credit by 6/15/12. Restrictions apply.
Hi, this is J.D. Nelson with County Bank Mortgage and co-host of House Plans. When it's time to refinance, protect your equity by choosing the County Bank Mortgage no closing cost option. Our Equity Saver plan will lower your rate and save you money. Ask for it by name and start saving today with the County Bank Mortgage Equity Saver plan.
Call County Bank Mortgage today at 331-HOME. That's 331-4663. Or visit online at countybankmortgage.com. County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Dude, check out my new Pioneer DEH44 car stereo with built-in HD radio technology and new HD2, HD3 channels.
HD2, HD3 channels?
Get with it, man. HD2, HD3 channels are all these new free digital radio channels.
How do I listen to them?
With the new Pioneer DEH44 HD radio receiver. It's only $120 at Walmart.
Walmart? That's cool.
Yeah, just go to hdradio.com and check out the station guide. They're adding new channels all the time.
Learn about HD radio technology at hdradio.com. More radio, more value.
2012 is here and you're still ignoring your back pain? Well, it looks like Dr. Alex Casalias at Health Source Chiropractic is offering a free 19-point slip disc assessment, including x-rays, to see if you have the kind of severe back pain that can be eliminated by new spinal decompression technology. Oh man, this thing is amazing. Have you heard about it? It's called spinal decompression treatment. And I've heard incredible result stories from this. If you have a slip disc in your back or neck and have pain shooting down your legs and arms, it's like this miracle cure. Now, it's not like a chiropractic adjustment or surgery. It's like this really sophisticated machine that you lie on, and apparently it feels really good. I mean, I've even heard from a guy that had severe back pain, and the treatment felt so good he fell asleep. He didn't want it to stop. But even better, he's totally cured of his back pain. So I'll tell you, if you've got serious back pain, I would take Health Source up on this free assessment offer and see if this new health treatment will help. Call Health Source today at 864-297-3000, 864-297-3000.
WORD.
Good morning, upstate South Carolina. What a beautiful, bright, and sunny Saturday morning, soon to be afternoon, guys. It's just
time for us to go work in
weather.
our yards.
That's right. That's right.
No, I got a lot to do, actually.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, we got a guest today we didn't talk about. I have an Eagle Scout ceremony to go to at Paris Island State Park, or Paris Mountain State Park.
So you joining the Marine
As soon as
Corps?
we leave here. So brought my son who's participating in that all decked out in his Scout uniform this morning.
Ram.
We tried to get him on the air, folks. So he's just a little bit shy. But you're listening to the Yard Pros, Carolina Fresh Farms. You're listening to Mills
Ryan Huff.
And Scott Beard.
Wow. And when we left, we were talking, I believe it was Tony, about weeds in the yard and certain things. And we got some guys that have been holding online, so we'll get to you guys here in just 1 second. I want to say, Tony, real quick, apologize I had to cut you off, but we were going to our bottom of the hour set break, so naturally had to go. But, Tony, we were talking about it and really feel like if you just use a good general fertilizer or weed control product, be careful. Select one that doesn't have nitrogen if you have a warm season grass this time of the year. A lot of companies out there want to sell you a 25, 11 weed control product, and if you've got a warm season grass, it's just way too early to apply that to the lawn. So we have a 0015 lockup product that seems to work very well in that situation. Guys, let's move right along. We got Paul holding from Powdersville, and down there close to you, Scott.
Morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good. Listen, my honey-do list this morning consisted, we have a mailbox bed, for lack of a better term, that's about 5 by 8 or so, and I have irises in it. But then a few years ago, I planted some monkey grass because I wanted the border. And now it's, of course, taken over, so I have a monkey grass / iris bed. I'm going to keep the irises and get rid of the monkey grass. Should I just dig it up, or should I round up and dig it up, or what do you suggest?
Just dig it up. That's going to be your best way. That'd be spraying Roundup. I mean, if you turn around and those irises are pretty much...
They're coming up.
Yeah,
I've got irises in my yard, and they're probably a foot high
already.
already.
Be spraying any Roundup right now, especially near the irises.
Okay, so even if I cover the irises with the old empty 2-liter bottle, and
you can do that. Yeah, most definitely.
You're right, Paul, and you bring up a good point. The Roundup only translocates through the plant through the green leaf tissue.
So you don't want to transplant the monkey grass anymore?
I got more monkey grass, man, than I mean, that stuff loves my yard.
Yeah, you got a zoo going on over there.
Go ahead and cover it up and go ahead and spray it.
Spray it, and you're probably going to have to do repeat applications, Paul. You're going to burn it back, and then it's going to start regrowing a few weeks later. So probably spray it back-to-back on 2-week intervals. It may take 3 applications to really get it out of there.
Make sure you spray it when it's not very windy. You don't want to get wind drift with that and start burning things around your yard.
Right, or I could just maybe dig it up and get it all in one fell swoop.
Exactly.
That can work.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your call this morning, Paul.
Guys. All right, bye.
Guys, I tell you, we've had a wide range of calls this morning.
Absolutely.
It's been really good, from Liriope monkey grass issues to pre-emergent issues to Japanese maples. We really do appreciate it. Folks, if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to the Yard Pros by Carolina Fresh Farms. Give us a call at 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. And we have Colin on hold. He's actually close to me there in Greer. Good morning, Colin, and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Hey, how's it going this morning?
Wonderful.
I got a couple of questions. I put in about just under 7,000 square feet of Empire Zoysia this past May, I think it was. And all over the summer, I had a beautiful yard, and it went dormant, obviously. Everything looks great. I'm getting some weeds popping up now before it's, getting ready to pop back in. And what I'm wondering is, what is my feeding schedule with Empire Zoysia around here going to be from this point?
It's pretty simple. Right now, you need to get out with a 007 prodiamine, your your pre-emergent herbicide. That needs to go out immediately. Our soil temperatures are in the low 50s. Once they reach 55 degrees sustained, we're going to see crabgrass and all the other summer weeds germinating. So that needs to go out this week, no doubt about it. Anyone with warm seasonal.
007 what?
Prodiamine or Barricade. That's a lot easier probably to hear over the air and write down. The active ingredient's called prodiamine. But that pre-emergent herbicide with no nitrogen, it's way too early to feed this grass because we may, tonight we got a frost advisory.
Right.
So we don't want to put a lot of nitrogen on that yard yet. And then what you want to do, the next step, Colin's going to be in the spring of the year, mid-April, to apply 16-25-12. And you can also visit CarolinaFreshFarms.com, which is our home website, and there is a PDF version of a fertilizer program that tells you what to do, when to do, and why you're doing it.
For every type of grass.
For every type of grass. You can download that and have it there on your desktop or print a copy for you to use during the growing season.
Or we have the brochures at our office.
Exactly.
Well, for the record, I did. The sod was provided through your company, so
good.
Great.
I was very pleased with it, and I just want to keep it looking the way it looked last year. And this is the first. I went from fescue to this zoysia because I was dealing with some shade areas and I couldn't do Bermuda. So
yes, he went with a big investment now. So definitely get on the pre-emergent and keep it going.
Immediate.
Yes, the store there in Duncan on 29 is open until 12 o'clock, so you can run on down and get some of the 007 prodiamine and get it on out.
Or run down
to Anderson, my store, and I'd be glad to help you out there.
See, I appreciate that, Colin. We now have 2 store managers buying for your business in the upstate.
We're battling.
Nice. Well, I appreciate the info, guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Have
Colin.
a good day.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Guys, the phone lines are still lit up fairly well. We got open spot for one person. It's 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg. If you'd like to pose a question to the Yard Pros this morning, I'm a little embarrassed or a little hesitant to take this next
Come
caller.
on, I'll take the next call.
And we only have a minute or so, but I guess we'll take this next caller who's been on hold for the last 5 minutes and see what they may have to say before we go into our mid-break. Scott, would you like to handle this call?
I'll be glad to take this call. George, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Scott. I'm so glad you took this call.
I thought you'd love to hear my voice this morning.
I need to get a straight answer from somebody.
Yes, I understand. That's why you called and asked for me.
Quick question. We recently pulled up a lot of old shrubs around our house. We're redoing the outside, and we pulled up some 30-year-plus old shrubs, and we have like a ton of roots left. We pulled those up, had those pulled up with a front-end loader, but it just left a root bed under there that's unbelievable. And is there a product that we can put out there to help get rid of this root system that we got before we put these plants down?
Yeah, we call your son. Get him out there with a shovel and a mattock and have him go to town. But I know that's not going to happen.
I started to ask for Graham. I think I'd get a straight answer out of him.
Graham won't get on the air.
But, now, is there a product that we could sort of speed the getting rid of those old roots, or is it okay just to try to prepare that soil and dig back and put something down before we plant those nice plants that I think that came from your store?
That's what they did. I'm going to send you an invoice for that, too. I don't think I have yet. I'm glad you called.
I wondered about that. I was hoping Mills had taken care of that.
So, folks, if you hadn't realized yet, this is my dad calling. And, Dad, you don't have to call me on the air to encourage me to come down to the yard to help you in the lawn and landscape.
Suckered him in.
Dad actually lives in Clinton, and Dad, I tell you, the best thing I think you can do, truthfully, is to get out there and maybe remove some of those surface roots that are easy to pull out. The stuff that's in there beyond that, I don't think that's a big issue. That should decompose over time. What do you think?
Crepe myrtles, that would be the only thing I would have a concern about.
Crepe myrtles will probably regrow and
we
be
didn't pull crepe myrtle up.
He pulled some old privet, I think some old Nellie R. Stevens hollies, things like that out.
Okay, sound like a good project for a young scout to help me.
I believe it does.
Listen, guys, your show is great, and I've told a bunch of friends about it, and y'all keep up the good work.
We appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you later. And Ryan, I'll speak to you too.
All right, thank you. Good to speak to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
So, guys, you're listening to the Yard Pros by Carolina Fresh Farms. Unfortunately, we have to take a quick break. We hope Jim and Randy will stay on the line until we come back. If you'd like to give us a call, it's 232-9673 in Greenville or 574-9673 in Spartanburg.
And don't forget about email. You can send it to us at theyardpros@yahoo.com.
Mostly clear going through this evening and tonight, and temperatures will fall fast once again after sundown. We'll get down into the mid-30s, so we could have patchy frost around by early Sunday morning. Be sure to protect those sensitive plants and to set that clock forward an hour before you go to bed on Saturday night. Then mostly sunny skies expected for Sunday with a high of 64, while the small rain chance to start the work week. From the Fox Carolina Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent on News Radio WORD 106.3 FM.
Today through Sunday, it's America's greatest tire sale. Nowhere in America will you find a bigger or better tire sale than you will find here right now. Now, only at Tire Kingdom, today through Sunday. Get 2 name brand tires absolutely free when you buy 2. That's 50% off regular retail. With the purchase of alignment and premium installation, you get 4 tires for the price of 2. Today through Sunday, only at Tire Kingdom. You buy 2, you get 2 free. That's 50% off. Not just a few unbranded tires, but select name brands. Name brands like Popular Pirelli, Cooper, and Yokohama tires. Buy 2, get 2 absolutely free. 4 tires for the price of 2. Today through Sunday, only at Tire Kingdom. But make no mistake about it, this sale will end Sunday. So don't wait. See your Tire Kingdom tire store today.
Everybody loves barbecue. But this is Voodoo Barbecue, New Orleans style. Barbecue sides. Try them kicked up the Voodoo way. We're the sound, the soul, the taste of barbecue. New Orleans style. Brisket, gumbo, salads, and burgers. All with the spice and magic of Louisiana. Voodoo Barbecue.
New on Woodruff Road between East Butler and Feaster Road.
I like a weed-free spread. That's how I roll, so I reach for Roundup Extended Control. Driveway, patio, I spray just once, and it's adios weeds for up to 4 sweet months.
Roundup Extended Control.
It's the one folks trust. Roundup's the master. Anything less could spell disaster. Kills weeds dead and kills them quick. Get yours now. You got weed butt to kick.
Roundup Extended Control.
Want weeds gone? Roundup's the way. The top weed fighter in the USA.
Roundup Extended Control.
Spray once, stop weeds for months. Always follow label directions.
The first thing anyone sees about your house is the outside. Is your yard the way you want it? If you don't have the yard you deserve, don't waste time and money doing it yourself. Call the professionals at Willis Landscaping. I'm Jennifer Willis, and my husband Jeff and I have been in business for 15 years. Let us install sod, irrigation, plants, or mulch. We will save you money and get you amazing results. You'll love our professionalism, quality, and price. Call today for a free estimate. 303-6555. That's Willis Landscaping. 303-6555. Or find us on Facebook.
Hi, folks. Russ Castle here. You know, most guys spend time aimlessly wandering through the meat department on the quest to find the perfect piece of meat to grill. But there's only one place I know of that can make you a grill master. That would be the New York Butcher Shop, serving only the finest cuts of Angus beef, as well as pork, chicken, lamb, and veal. Don't be just another guy with the grill. Come to the New York Butcher Shop and find all the ingredients to make you a master. The New York Butcher Shop. Real meats for the real grill master.
WORD.
Good morning, upstate South Carolina, and welcome back to the Yard Pro Show. We've had a great start this morning.
Absolutely.
The boards are full, 232-9673 in Greenville, if you'd like to give us a call, or 574-9673 in Spartanburg.
And we actually got our first email that we'll get in here in just a minute.
Yeah, here in a few minutes, we're going to answer our email from the yardpros at yahoo.com. We've had Piedmont. We've had Randy on hold for a while, and Randy, we apologize, but welcome to the Yard Pros, and thank you for holding on.
How are you doing, fellas?
Wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful.
I just have a quick question for you. Well, I don't know if it's going to be quick or not.
Go ahead.
Last spring, we cleared out a flower bed, rototilled and everything, and put down seeds. But came back out probably about 3 hours later, and we had a army of squirrels digging up the garden and enjoying themselves. And I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them without breaking the Geneva Convention.
Well, that, or if you have a local boy in the neighborhood that really loves his BB rifle, certainly he can hit them and run them off, but like you said, it might have something to do with the Geneva Convention. I'm not sure.
That was all Mills there. Ryan Scott didn't say anything about that.
So, what I would suggest, and Scott, you probably face this a lot with the garden center you have, is mothballs. Take a pair of ladies' hose or something and tie some mothballs. The naphthalene is the active ingredient there. That's the odoriferous ingredient. And put those around in those areas, and the smell itself should deter them from coming into that area.
Yeah, it wasn't like I had just gotten this house, and it's not like the house I had in Blue Ridge, because I'd sit out under a tree, and with my 22 and handle it. But
sure.
I got neighbors real close.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. I mean, I think whether it's this situation with squirrels, I've seen that be very effective in a garden where you have rabbits coming in and they seem to like your lettuce more than you do.
No, I love for rabbits to come in. They're delicious.
Oh, yes.
So I would try the naphthalene, the mothball trick, and try it first. I mean, there's some other products you'll see some other places, but if you looked at the active ingredient, it's all naphthalene, and that's mothball. So I'd run down to the local Dollar Tree or dollar store, buy 5 or 6 boxes of mothballs, put them in a lady pantyhose, tie them up, and throw them in the garden. That keeps them contained, and that should help solve your problem.
Clever. I was going to have the Boy Scout troop come over and handle it, maybe.
Exactly. Well, Randy, we appreciate you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. So we also have Jim and Greer about nutsedge. And, Ryan, I promise you, you get your opportunity. Once we get Jim off the line, we're sure for you to pose the email question this morning.
No problem.
Jim, good morning, and welcome to the Yard Pros.
Well, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Certainly.
Hey, last year I hit nutsedge real bad, so I killed off my lawn over the wintertime. And, late summer, and then resowed it with fescue last fall. And it came up, and it's got a good stand of fescue out there, but I'm starting to get some nutsedge back in it. Well, what should I do?
You think the nutsedge is already coming up?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because it's got me miffed, honestly, Jim. The soils really aren't warm enough typically to see nuts. Nutsedge normally germinates even after crabgrass in the month of June or July. Right. And last year, the reason we had such a harsh and such a big problem with nutsedge is we had a lot of moisture in the month of June. And during the germination
there's not a lot
period.
of it. It's just like a couple of sprigs out there.
Okay. And it could be some type of this time of the year, since it is winter and the soils are still cool. It could be another weed. But to answer your question, if indeed it is nutsedge, or if you feel like the nutsedge, which it probably will come back a little bit this year, Scott, what's your thoughts on, or Ryan, chime in? What's your thoughts on nutsedge?
Sedgehammer would be your best bet.
Right,
yeah.
Right. That or Bassagran.
Yeah, Bassagran or Sedgehammer. Sedgehammer's probably a little bit better, and it's a convenient little package. You rip this foil packet open, dump it in a gallon of water with some surfactant. We talked about that earlier today.
You have to use surfactant.
You have to use surfactant because that nutsedge is very waxy, cuticle layer on the leaf. But that should take care of your problem.
Okay, great.
All right, we appreciate your call
Jim,
this morning,
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, well, it's my time. Sherry, here you go. Your email to theyardpros@yahoo.com says, "Hi, I bought about 10 Encore azaleas about 3 to 4 years ago. They didn't do well in the shady morning, sunny afternoon front yard. Some only bloomed one time a year, and some never bloomed, and a few died. We moved them last year to the side yard, which is sunny in the morning and shady in the mid-afternoon. They were looking better, but now they are looking like they are dying again. What do they want or need to do well?" Well, first off, I'd be making sure that you check the soil. Azaleas do like more of a acidic area, and so that's one thing you may want to be checking is you may have the wrong type of soil in there, and you can always alter that. The other is just making sure you're giving them good nutrients with the fertilizer that you're getting them.
I think fertilization this time of the year for her is probably the best thing she could do. Get them off to a good start, and let's see how they rebound. So, but a great question, you know. Hey, I moved a plant, did the right things. I didn't think it was in the right area. I moved it. It's still not doing what I want it to do. And you may find this year if you fertilize it, it'll bounce back very quickly for the fact that, hey, you just went through some transitional shock. You dug me up. You planted me over here. You cut me off at the knees. I need to regrow so that I feel a little bit better.
And also watch the moisture. Make sure it doesn't stay too wet.
Exactly. Let's take Rex. Rex has been on hold for a while. Got a question about bamboo. Good morning, Rex.
Good morning. How you doing?
Appreciate you holding in that long.
Sure. I'm thinking about making a border in the edge of the woods to hide some stuff in the woods.
Certainly.
And use, I really do like that real tall cane.
Sure.
But I was going to put a strip about 2 foot wide all the way across through there. But I didn't know how deep the roots would go to reproduce because I know how it spreads, and I was going to fix something in the ground to stop the roots from spreading any further.
Yeah, great question. There actually, I haven't run across it in a few years, but years ago there was a landscape fabric that was impregnated with pre-emergent herbicide.
Wow.
And you would run this along the side of a sidewalk 2 to 3 foot deep in the soil profile to keep tree roots from growing under the sidewalk. I know some companies like Schneider Tree Care, they've used it in the past, had some really good results. I'm just not real sure where you can get your hands on that. But if you're going to use some type of plastic barrier, Scott, what do you think? Probably 3 to 4 foot deep, I would say, at a minimum. Bamboo seems to root very, very deep.
Right. I figured they did.
And
I wanted to find out before I started the project.
Sure. And I tell you, remember this, Rex, when you plant that edge of bamboo, maybe have a section of what we call no man's land, a mulched area between that bamboo bed and the lawn or the landscape, that you can actually go in there and spray it back with something that's as inexpensive but as effective as Roundup. And that can kind of help you keep it in check.
Speaking of Roundup, that's made me think of something I've been wanting to ask too. I heard that when you spray things with Roundup, even though it kills the plant, it deteriorates, but that Roundup stays in the soil. Is that correct?
Very unlikely, to be honest with you, Rex. I have seen some issues, and it's not really the Roundup staying in the soil as much as it can hang out.
Right.
Like if you spray Bermuda, it's going to burn it back, but you notice the Bermuda comes back with a stony growth. That's because the chemical itself is still hung up in the plant. But Roundup is one of the safest products. We get a lot of questions about it in the store. You know, some people, I don't want to use it as a herbicide, but it's one of the safest products on the market.
Right. Well, I figured this way, at least after a couple of years, I figured it deteriorates and so come down in the ground.
Certainly. Well, Rex, we appreciate your call this morning.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your show.
So, Angela, what do you think? 2 minutes. Jerry, real quick, you've been on hold with a question about vines. Jerry, you only have about a minute and a half. What can we help you with?
Yeah, what time of the year is the best time to cut back muscadine vines and scopidine vines without killing them?
All right, Jerry, we're going to try to answer that. I'm going to put you on hold and let you, since we're at the end of the show, and let Angela get your number real quick, and I'll try to call you as soon as I get out of the studio if that'll help you out.
All right,
hold on 1 second. Good question. Scott, you got any ideas?
No. Not a clue.
They should have been done, muscadine is a native grape to the southeast. It's the only native grape around here, and that really should have been done in the dead of winter. You could probably risk it now if it hadn't set buds and still do a pretty good job with it, Jerry. But you really need to look at that plant and see how far along it's come. So it could have been a major issue where with the warm weather, it's already started to set those buds and set that growth for this year, which may impact the amount of fruiting that you get this year. Would you agree with that, Scott? You're looking at me kind of like I'm goofy.
I'm just listening to all your book of knowledge.
My book of knowledge. Guys, we really appreciate it, and gals, for listening and tuning in this morning from 10 to 11. We are the Yard Pros from Carolina Fresh Farms. I'm Mills Grant.
I'm Ryan Huff.
And I'm Scott Beard.
And it's been another wonderful show. Only our second. Last week we had our first caller. This week we had our first email question.
That's right. Excited.
So we're gaining a little ground in this neck of the woods. If you have any questions about the yard or the landscape here in upstate South Carolina, we want you to remember that not only can you contact us here at the radio station during the week, but certainly you can find us during the week if you visit our website at carolinafreshfarms.com. That's carolinafreshfarms.com. They can find your store there in Duncan.
Absolutely, on Highway 29.
Yep, or Scott down at Highway 81 in Anderson. So, folks, we really appreciate you tuning in this morning, and we look forward to hearing from you next week.
Absolutely, and don't forget, during the week, you can send us emails at theyardpros@yahoo.com, and we will try and get you answers.
Scott, you have nothing else to say, do you?
I'm ready to go home and work in my yard.
You're working in your yard this weekend. How about you, Ryan? What are you doing?
No, I'm not going to work in the yard. I'm going to go play with my little girls.
Well, Graham and I are batching it this weekend, so we're thinking the Eagle Scout ceremony this afternoon and fishing tomorrow.
Oh, that does sound like fun.
Doesn't that sound like fun? We appreciate you listening to the Yard Pros.
News Radio WORD is WYRD FM. Simpsonville, Greenville, Spartanburg. WYRD.